Eyes wide open.
If you think Dogman is just a legend, keep watching. From shadowy figures stalking rural backroads, from towering wolf-like creatures emerging from the tree line, these sightings have left witnesses shaken, speechless, and forever changed. If you've ever wondered what really growls in the wilderness after sunset, you're in the right place. Don't forget to subscribe, and let's take a look.
And have you heard of something called Dogman?
And it was kind of like lights. Like it was just very red, glowy balls. And so I'm looking at them and I don't know. I'm so perplexed. I don't know what I'm looking at. And as I'm staring deeply into these like red shining balls, and I'm kind of like just staring for a while. And I remember thinking, what are those? Like I kept thinking, are they shiners? Like, what am I looking at inside of the woods? Why are they so bright red? And I had no idea. I'm probably 18, 17 at the time. And that's where I'm looking at them. And I think at that point I realized they were eyes, because I went, what is that? And as soon as I said that, my friends turned. And as they were turning to look, this thing was turning also. So one of the eyes got blocked, like the red glowing eyes, one of them gets blocked by its face. And I'm only seeing one as it turns, and that's where I see this like snout, like the mouth of a dog. And that I see, and it's like everything came into, like the big picture was finally like revealed. As it was turning, I could see the ears, I could see the mouth. And I sometimes wonder if it was because the eyes were so bright that I was just staring into them. And until he was turning, that's where like everything else was kind of illuminated. Or I just could notice it better because I was looking into the darkness for so long. So what I saw was a dog head on a man's body that was very large, extremely black. Like it was darker than like the surrounding woods. It was darker than the trees beside it. Like it was darker than night.
This may sound a little bit weird, but we live on the perimeter of Woodlands National Park, and some weird things have been happening at night on our TV. We've been having weird static, and now recently we've lost some sheep, some goats. They've been mutilated, chickens, weird sounds. Anyway, I've got to call into Park Ranger Steve and Alex. They're going to come by and investigate.
You know, we're not supposed to. This is way outside the range. Yeah, to stay. I don't know. Yeah, I guess we just call in a 1044 and just call this in for sure. Okay.
Park Ranger Alex here just called it in, so we're gonna have some rangers stay over for the next week. Would that be okay with you?
Are you sure we're safe?
Yeah, absolutely. For 100%, we have the best rangers out here. We're gonna even send a Dire Corp team to make sure everything's okay. But we're gonna head out. We have some things to deal with. But thanks for meeting us, ma'am. Everything should be good.
Absolutely. You have nothing to worry about, ma'am.
Well, thank you so much.
Just this month, 3 hikers, 2 kids, a park ranger. No footprints, no blood, no trail. It's almost as if the earth opened up and swallowed them whole. How did they just vanish?
People who disappear in geographical clusters, locations that form a superhighway of high strangeness that runs through our national forest. Some people go to the forest just to live their lives. Some people go looking for answers to things they have no explanation for. President Roosevelt's Forest Reserve Act of 1891 wasn't created to protect the forest. It was created to protect people from the forest.
You're saying this isn't an accident?
I'm saying the truth is more terrifying than you can possibly imagine.
So you know what happened to them?
Yes.
Then tell me.
You won't like the answer.
I told my mom I thought I saw a werewolf, and my mom believed me.
I was walking along a good probably 7 to 10 seconds before it had turned its head.
That thing, that was no dog. That was too big to be a dog. That thing was bigger than me.
That thing was stalking cornfields, jumping on cars, and feasting on roadkill. For 2 years, people in Elkhorn, Wisconsin whispered about a king-sized creature who roamed Bray Road.
It had really big claws. It was holding its roadkill like it had elbows, and it was kneeling on 2 knees, like a human being might do.
Eerie stories like that prompted Linda Godfrey, a reporter and cartoonist, to investigate. It was all just too bizarre not to be for real.
When you live in a small town and you say you've seen something that looks like a dog man or a wolf man, you know, you're going to get some ridicule, and they did. So they had no reason to say this.
Despite the ridicule, beast believers came forward in Godfrey's Beast of Bray Road article, like Doris Gibson, who'd seen it on Halloween night 1991. Driving down Bray Road, she had gotten out of her car when she thought she had hit an animal.
It was foggy out, and I was a little bit afraid. And this big thing come just like trucking, you know? Just trucking down the road at me, man. I looked at it, and I'm like, ah! And I ran, I got back in the car. You know, and before I peeled off, that thing scratched the back of the car.
Tom Brichta's car was also scratched by the creature from Bray Road.
My adrenaline started pumping. I was scared.
But this is a creature that likes to cross county lines. Tom saw it twice on Route 106.
We were having a good time and stuff. We were singing the oldies and jamming out and stuff. And then all of a sudden I noticed this on the side of the road.
He was big and he looked intimidating. I was scared of his appearance.
Back on Bray Road, Lori Andreezy remembers her close encounter with the creature in 1990.
And I saw it kneeling on the side of the road, and it was eating something. And I came up from behind it, and I slowed down because I thought it was a person at first. So I came up from behind it, and I realized it wasn't a person when I saw its pointy ears.
From those descriptions, Linda drew up this composite picture of the beast. All agreed it was very big, with pointy ears and broad-chested with a shaggy coat streaked with silver, gray, or black.
It had brought its right hand up, stopped, looked over by the car, real nonchalant, and made eye contact with both Scott and I, and gave like this sneer, like it was challenging us. Like, you know, what are you going to do about it? You know, I'm here, you're there. I'm bigger than you are. You can't do anything about it.
But with all the sightings, no one knew if it was man, beast, or even a combination of the two. One person simply called it God's mistake.
I would assume that what they saw was some sort of an animal, probably dog-like in nature, either a loose dog or a coyote.
I just said, it's a big animal, and it's upset. It's really upset.
If werewolves do exist, this is probably a werewolf.
Hey, what are you doing? Once the W word was spoken, werewolf mania broke out in Elkhorn. T-shirts were gobbled up and personal capture permits were issued courtesy of Hairy Face. Even the local bakery made Beast of Bray Road cookies, touting them as werewolf cookies that will make you howl. Letters came pouring in. One in particular sent chills down Linda's spine.
He said it was too large to be a wolf. It had a terribly unkempt look to its fur, wild, not normal.
Elaine Bushman was describing what her husband Robert had witnessed in 1991. The Bushmans live in St. Nazian and were just passing through town when Robert spied the creature. They knew nothing of the beastly tales that haunted Elkhorn.
I've never seen anything that would be dirty enough and for some reason or other scary enough to make you feel the hair lift up on your arms, you know.
So, is it a dog, coyote, or werewolf? Believe what you will, but just remember, it's here, just waiting.
So this is comforting. I just pulled in my driveway. As you guys know, we've had something kind of hitting the side of my house, throwing branches, and has been spotted at my place. Well, the tree in front of my house now has, well, take a look. Large gashes off the front, and I have no clue where those came from. But last night, my motion sensor light went off, the which is right back here, the which covers that tree. So whatever set off the light made those marks.
Well, I went to get the tractor, and there's this black dog. I'm not showing you guys. It had its mouth on its neck, picking it up and, like, carrying it. 300-pound steer. Shot it. That son of a bitch dropped that cow, stood up on its feet, looked at us, tucked its hand in like this, and ran like a human. My daughter was hiding in her closet crying for some reason. I went in her room and I smelled sulfur, like horrible sulfur. So I went in and got her, and I went out to leave for work the next morning, and there is 3 claw marks, 7.5 feet up, all the way down my daughter's wall.
Oh
outside.
my God.
Yeah, I sold my farm in a heartbeat.
And then after that, when we were looking through just the snow, we found wolf prints that were, no joke, bigger than my hand, and that's just the paws, not like the claw parts. And that was crazy. Like, in this video, we literally went to probably the 3 most popular places where Dogman sightings are, the Beast of Bray Road, kind of just all over Michigan. And then the one thing I can't really explain at all is the giant wolf prints. And honestly, the most believable thing to me, that guy's story.
Yes. It's all connected to the days of Noah.
It's wild. I mean, I think we tend to want to compartmentalize things, and the same thing if you take it to like the cryptid stuff, like Bigfoot's Bigfoot, Dogman's Dogman. They don't talk to each other; they're separate things. And the more you look into things, the more you realize there's crossover, there's bleeding between different things that you feel comfortable compartmentalizing, but the reality is it's not compartmentalized, and they use these different fractions will use each other.
Does that fall under MilLab, the military laboratory
the MyLabs
stuff?
Yeah. Well, let me use an example. So with the idea of Dogman, Dogman can be something from another realm that comes here. Dogman can be something that is brought on by occultic means, somebody transforming their body into a upright walking dog through dark magic. And Dogman can also be something that was made in a lab that is run by our government.
So when you say this about Dogman, are you speaking of the traditional shapeshifter? What is it?
An upright walking canine is pure.
Metaschizoid shapeshifters?
Purely, when I'm saying, the example I'm using, I'm purely trying to paint the picture of an upright walking canine that comes from different locations, different sources. So
Okay, let me pause there. So you're saying these are not 3 different theories. You think they are coming from those 3 different areas.
Yeah.
So when you see, it could be any of those 3.
So I would say the natural Dogman is the one that pops in from the second heaven or whatever.
Okay.
Then there's the dark magic that people will do rituals to transform their bodies through satanic means, through skinwalker type situations.
Yeah.
And then there's also leaders within our governments that have endless budgets who understand that what I just shared as a reality and want to engineer their own version of it, and they do it. Right. So people think, other realm coming here, it's a wisp, it walks through a wall, you can put your hand through it. Not true. Like if it came from somewhere else, it still can manifest very physical here, and they can change their physical being to look any way they want. And if you want, look at the scriptures, God's holy angels, how do they function in scripture? Well, newsflash, fallen angels were once the good guys. They were once part of God's army.
Yes.
And so just because they rebelled and listen, there was a war for a reason.
Yes.
If their rebellion equaled no power, then there wouldn't have been a war. There was a war for a reason because they didn't lose their power. They just changed their allegiance.
Yeah.
And so the things that we see the angels do in the Bible, they still can do. The fallen angels can do. And who's to say a fallen angel doesn't manifest as a upright walking canine in Egyptian times called, I want to say Anunnaki, but it's, what's the word? Not Cynocephalus, the Egyptian Anubis. Thank you. Like who's to say that 1,000 years ago it doesn't appear as Anubis? Who's to say that I think boxing. I'm getting a little worked up. I'm sorry.
Come on,
No,
but
bring it
good.
on.
I think compartmentalizing things for your own comfort zone is the downside for so many people. And it's like, what you say, well, is it this, that, or the other? I'm like, how about D, all the above?
Yeah.
You know,
that's good.
And I think I can present a decent case for that. You know,
I think what you're saying is great.
But
we do no, we do that because we have to make it make sense.
Yeah.
But we eliminate what you said. It should be all the above. We shouldn't just say just this one. We do that to help ourselves, but we close off these other options and we don't open our minds up to, well, it could technically be this too, or this. So I
think that's
totally
excellent.
agree.
That's
I agree
excellent.
with what you said.
That's excellent, baby. Because I'm actually thinking to myself, if it was one and could be any of those, that's not as deceptive. And the whole thing that Jesus talked about is this deception.
When this guy was worked within the state of Georgia, and he would be periodically detached with the DEA on these grow fields down around the Georgia-Florida line. Now, there's this Apalachicola National Forest where apparently it's a free-for-all, or was a free-for-all of growing. And so I was just messing with him one day about what I'd seen, because he lived up in the mountains, and he was formerly on that fugitive squad that I was on, worked with. And I told him about that. And so I said, do you not ever see anything like that when you go down there? He says, I'm going to tell you something. And if you repeat me on this, I will say that you are the biggest liar that ever came out of Pickens County. And I said, okay. He said, the footage from the cameras that they put out, he said, before any of that can be used in court, it goes to somebody so they can scrub it of the footage of those things running around down there.
I'm walking, and for some reason I'm walking by and I just have this feeling, look out the window. Something is looking at you.
Okay.
And I'm at the age, I have 3 older siblings. I don't have the ability to make up wild things. I look out the window, out to the backyard, like I've done 1,000 times, and I see this Dogman werewolf face in the screen, like high up looking at me. And I did a double take, and then I did like a triple take. I'm like, am I really seeing this right now? And I swear it had like glowing eyes, like red eyes, and it smirked at me.
Whoa.
And I screamed and I ran into my parents' room. I woke up my parents, or they were like in their room reading or whatever they were doing.
One of the strangest documented cases of some of these strange Dogman supernatural phenomena comes from a retired math and physics teacher named Lee. He owns a 40-acre hayfield right next to the famous Dogman hotspot, Bray Road. He didn't think much of the local legend until he had locals tell him they saw the Dogman on his property. At first, Lee dismissed it, until animals on his property started turning up mutilated in ways predators don't do. Carcasses were found open cleanly from chin to belly, their organs removed in a single scoop sitting neatly 10 feet away. When he inspected the carcasses, he didn't find regular teeth marks everywhere, and there was no footprints of a predator anywhere in sight. So he set up trail cams to capture whatever it was mutilating his livestock. Over the next few years, his trail cams captured animals disappearing between frames, and strange lights and objects floating over his fields. He even recorded things that looked like small UFOs drifting over the tree line, but the most disturbing footage he captured involved a small deer he placed near the edge of his property line. In the exact same moments the deer vanished, the trail cam captured a thick mist rolling in out of nowhere. Frame after frame, the fog slowly moved on top of the deer until it was directly on top of it, before finally drifting off into the forest again. again, leaving the deer totally missing after it left. The only evidence left behind were deep 5-toe canine prints, far heavier and wider than any normal dog. Between the red eyes he later saw staring at him from the field and the mountain of bizarre trail cam footage he collected over the years, Lee became convinced of one thing: something was moving across his land, and whatever it wasn't acting like a normal animal.
I'm just gonna tell you one of them other, man. I'm just gonna tell you about before the house burns down, man. I don't know if they can hear me or see me, but man, I know just remember, we used to eat. Everybody cook at different houses. Right. So, you wanted something different, you go to the other house. Pick my plate over there, and I finna run to your mama's house. Man, as soon as I walked out that house, something big and black ran toward me, and I just screamed and ran back in that house, man. Auntie, everybody come out there, man. But come to find out years later, it was a panther at the house because when K&M was staying at up that old house, they had called the police because scratch at the window, but they said it was a panther ridge. That's crazy. I said, man, that's crazy. What's crazy, I thank God I'm still alive because that thing was bigger than me. I think I had to been like, 12? Yeah, so it ain't never been found. No. So it probably gotta be some more. All I know is, man, look, I never get when me and Kim was sitting out there in the truck. And I said, man, we just thought we was in a car, that black car, remember that couple little black little car? Monkey just let us drive. We were bagged in the yard, man. Back in the day, we smoking. Man, when I tell you, if she ever see this, she gonna breathe. Something was jumping from tree to tree. No. Down in granite yard, something was jumping from tree to tree. Big as I don't know what. Man, I should have knew this. When I say, the long hill about like where Charles Russell house was at. Charles Russell house. Yes. Okay, so that hill, something jumped. Me and New were finna walk up to Melvin house. Yep. Something like literally one jumping. You know how big that hill is. Yep. That thing jumped from the road to on top of the hill and was gone. So it went like that. Just gave me the chill because that reminded me of that. We ain't crazy because we bagged in the yard. That is crazy. I was just finna get out and go in the house. Then something big that jumped from tree to tree. Man, I shut that door. They like, man, I ain't getting out, man. Yep. I ain't getting out. Me and Noodle was like, ain't no way they made one big leap and that thing was up that hill. But you know what? I'm glad all them trees are out now, man. Yeah. Cause that path, remember it used to be a path. Yeah, like and then we used to be up in there playing all the time. You just don't know the danger we was in. God had us covered, man. But that was some scary junk, man. And that one time I got ready, my mama house, then it was, over the Faith house, then Auntie house. So that big opening, I had just about made it to Auntie house, and I always was scared of looking at opening. I fooled around and looking at opening. Man, it was something so doggone big. I'm literally 2 steps from Auntie house. I turned around and run back home. Man.
She was explicit that it was not a deer and it was not a bear. This road crossing also mirrors a report from October 14th, 2025, where a delivery driver on Route 102 reported a similar encounter. He described a large, dark, shaggy creature that crossed the 2-lane highway in just 3 bounds. And he noted the digitigrade leg structure, the triple-jointed appearance of the hind legs, which gave the creature a spring-loaded movement.
The Bigfoot crossover theory, obviously, some classify as a Bigfoot variant. The biggest difference, though, is the snout. Bigfoot's got the smashed human face. Right. This is a dog face, right? I mean, it's basically Dogman versus Sasquatch. It's basically like last week with the 2 chupacabras.
Right.
2 totally different things.
Yeah, and the behavior is completely different.
Yeah, and the only thing they have in common is people don't see them that often, and they live in the woods.
And they're both furry.
The region overlaps a little bit, but not by much. So.
Right.
Some people believe that it's just a misidentified animal. A large wolf or a hybrid or a black bear standing upright. Escaped exotic animal. But once again, this goes back to, people are going to try to explain everything away because they don't want to believe that there's nothing out there that they don't know about.
It sounds like boots, like you can actually hear the sole of the boot, like clunk, 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 like a footstep.
Oh, yeah, it's once you've been in the paranormal field long enough and you really start to see things, you start to believe. So you know, the people out there, it's one of those things. You're seeing what you're going to expect to see. So if you expect to see it, you may see it out there.
Yeah.
If you're not, you may just blow it off. Oh, that's just a big dog, or that's a bear, or whatever.
Right. Somebody saw a bear.
So it could be out there roaming through the woods out in Wisconsin. The Beast of Bray Road.
Going to talk about some of my Dogman experiences. So to put some of that into context, I mean, you all know my story. You know, I've been involved, well, you all know what I've been involved, Project Ibis, multiple intelligence agencies, special forces. I've got over 200 confirmed kills. You know, the police and the security services hate me saying that, so I'm going to say it. And to connect that to my Dogman experiences, I'll put it out there that, you know, I'm not religious. I've been involved in revolutionary warfare since I've been in my 20s, but my Dogman experiences, if I'm going to view it through a religious lens, then in the Tibetan Book of Living and Dying by Sogyal Rinpoche, it says that when you die, you die so physically you don't realize you've died, and the first thing that will happen is you'll be chased by demons. And this relates to my Dogman experience in 2013 in San Bernardino in California. I'd just gone through serious violence and serious losses, and I was with, it connects to Max Spears. I was with Max Spears in Texas. And then I'd gone up to California after I was with Max Spears in Texas to stay with my friend who lived in San Bernardino. And he came to pick me up in his truck. And this was probably around October 2013. He came to pick me up in his truck from the train station. I traveled I was in San Francisco, and I traveled down to San Bernardino. From my experience, San Bernardino is one of the poorest cities in America. And I got off the train, and we were driving to his place, like in the ghetto there. San Bernardino, and all of a sudden the streets became very quiet. And this is a busy California city, bear in mind, you know. So it was unusual that the streets were becoming quiet. And we rounded one corner, and I saw what I thought was a homeless guy with two bears on a leash. I've told this story before. It was he had long dark hair and sunglasses, and he had these two huge beasts on the leash on each hand, and they looked like bears. And as we drove closer towards him, he let them off the leash, and they started to chase the truck we were in on all fours. And as they got closer to the truck, they got up on two legs and started to run after the truck. And they had big, long snouts and all jagged teeth, kind of longer and more messy and jagged than a normal wolf or bear. But obviously these weren't wolves or bears. And the smaller one, I was in the passenger seat, ran round the side of the truck and tried to, the door was open. I had my arm leaning out. And the smaller one tried to bite my arm through the door, through the open window. And my friend kind of floored it, put his foot on the gas, and I leapt behind, and they were both chasing the truck on two legs. They looked like your classic werewolf, you know. So I've told this story before, there's been some sarcasm directed at me about it, but this is what I saw.
10 different animals were found dead in a Wisconsin forest, and some people believe the Dogman was responsible. It sounds almost unreal, but this was actually reported. Hunters claimed they stumbled upon a clearing with bodies. There were a fox, a marten, a rabbit, a mole, even a domestic dog. Predators and prey all in the same place. There is no blood, no clear injuries, and no signs of poisoning. Just dead animals scattered across the ground like something scared the life out of them. Wildlife experts couldn't fully explain it, but locals talk about an old legend, a creature people call the Wisconsin Dogman, a 7-foot wolf-like figure said to walk on 2 legs, massive shoulders, glowing eyes, something witnesses claim they've seen for decades. And here's the creepy part. Some locals even believe something stranger was involved. Invisible spiritual entities working together with the Dogman.
Okay. Yeah, can you, I know the general area. Can you just send me a pin? Drop a pin to send it to me, okay? All right. Thank you. Appreciate you calling. Thank you so much. Hey, guys, I just got a phone call. I just heard of another story. While we're filming this story, somebody found out that we're filming this story and called somebody, they got my number, they called me. There's another story. Something else happened less than 2 miles from here. I don't know if it's the proximity to the Moores Creek battlefield or the Black River. I don't know what's going on in this area, but about a year and a half ago, another story happened less than 2 miles away. What I heard, it sounds eerily similar to this story. There's a young man we need to go talk to, 40 years old. His name's Larry. He's a self-proclaimed outdoorsman. He's as a child, he's been in the woods. He's been in the woods as an adult his whole life. And we need to break all this down and go interview him right now. He's got a story. We need to hear it because it sounds really, really, really similar to this story. All right, so let's go. Let's break it down.
Rusty and the crew meet with Larry outside the small Curry post office. What makes this interview so significant is the location. It's less than a mile from where a 911 caller reported a terrifying encounter just 4 years earlier. The proximity ties Larry's account directly to an already chilling piece of local history.
I can't wait to tell it. Yes, sir.
It'll be fun.
Yes, sir. Very interesting.
Done anything like this before, though?
I have not.
Were you in the military?
I were not. Yeah. That's what I hear, man. That's what I hear. It's
Great.
Can't wait to get into it. It's gonna be a little bit interesting, It's kind of like my first big sighting type thing, but man, just some of the stuff that happens around here. I guess I'm not the only one that's seen it.
Great. Well, let's get started, man.
Yes, sir. Let's do it.
Get on with it. I want to see this place.
Yes, sir.
Hear all about it.
All right, let's do it.
All right, Larry. Roads get dark at night, don't they?
Yeah, you can see the only light on this road is on that pole right there.
Okay.
It gets so dark around here you can't even see your hand in front of your face.
So you grew up in Curry?
Yeah, most of my life. Born and raised around the Wilmington area, but this is the main part of my life. It's been, all these sand dunes. You can see they're not as high as they used to be.
Right.
Coming in and digging. Now, if you look into the woods, you'll see right away to your right, and kind of how we came in that night is this way. Yes, obviously,
The walk into the woods was brief, just a few hundred yards past the tree line. What stood out immediately was the concentration of small pines, all bent sharply over in the same area. It wasn't scattered. It wasn't random. Only here. Beyond this spot, Rusty and Larry found nothing unusual, as if whatever force caused it had focused solely on this one stretch of woods.
It just opened. It was right here close to this trail, so they came in. We're walking in. Yeah, that's the trail again. Kind of looks like a clearing.
It does.
I will tell you, we were a lot further. Oh my goodness, look at that'd be a we're gonna wake up with the trail. Got into the rip down.
So Larry, you grew up around here?
Yes, sir.
Did you do hunting, fishing, that kind of stuff around here?
I was kind of introvert, kind of kept to myself, you know. Maybe a few friends here and there would come out play in these woods. I grew up in these woods.
Okay, so you've been in the woods a lot, girl.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Stop calling me sir.
That's all right. That's just that good old mama raising.
I understand.
Yeah.
I understand. So, what do you do now, Larry?
I build power lines.
Do you really?
Yes, sir.
So, you grew up spending time in the woods.
Yep.
And you still spend time out in the field.
That's right. Yes, sir.
Wow.
Yeah.
So you growing up in the woods and then being out in the field doing power lines, you're very familiar with nature.
Oh yeah.
And so you know if a deer's moving here or a black bear cub runs,
That's right.
You know how to
That's
recognize that kind of stuff.
Yes, sir.
That doesn't unnerve you.
No, not at all.
Okay.
You know, and
that's interesting.
Mm-hmm. Just spending time out here, you know, a lot of times being the way you are as a child, well, I'll say me, being a child, not really wanting to be around a bunch of people. You know, where do I go? I escape either to my room or
right.
You know,
exactly.
to the woods where nobody else is. So.
It makes your story all the more interesting that, you know, you are familiar with the woods and you're still in that environment. And
oh yeah.
And just something moving is not going to throw you off because you've been around it your whole life.
Exactly. You know, you hear something moving in the woods. It could be a bear, a deer.
Yeah.
You know,
turkeys make crazy noises. Coyotes. You know, there's so many strange noises.
Yeah. There's no telling. See all the dead. You know, something snapping and popping on a dead limb. It is what it is. You know. So.
Well, I'm going to go ahead and ask you. Now, I grew up in North Carolina as well, and I was pretty big into hunting as a teenager and so forth. So I was in the woods all the time. We lived right on the edge of the woods.
Yeah.
And so, you know, Carolina pines, longleaf pines, shortleaf pines, I'm familiar with, you know, the way the forest is supposed to look. There's a lot of bent over pines in here. I've never seen that in my life.
Yeah.
In any forest that I've been in, especially in the Carolinas. Small ones, big ones, they're bent over. I've never seen that before.
Yep.
At least we have a pretty day out here.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, I agree with that. Couldn't ask for better weather. So,
this is the spot?
More or less where we were, you know, we were crouched and the sighting took place.
Are you ready to tell me the story?
Oh yeah. Let's dig in.
I'm ready to hear it.
So, you know, my buddy and I, we have certain gear we like to try on, go through the woods, try it out, make sure it's tough, clothing, whatever it may be.
This is last January.
Yes, sir. Last January 12th. It was Friday, January 12th, 2024.
Okay.
And my mother's house is a good little bit of that way, as you see. So we came through the woods. Actually, we found this trail at an angle.
Coming through the paved road out there.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Come in through the paved road. And, you know, we came in at an angle and just, we hurriedly found the trail because people in this area of the world, they can fire their gun at, you know, it's out in the country.
Yeah, sure.
We heard a pistol firing off as if somebody was shooting across the road. So we kind of...
Pretty common.
Exactly. Yeah. Exactly. And we ran, man. We ran with our gear on. And that's actually what led us up to this point right here.
What gear?
You know, our chest rigs, you know, trying out our chest rigs, stuff that we carry ammunition with on the range.
Okay.
Our, you know, our belts where we carry our water, our food rations and stuff. It's stuff that kind of, you know, you want to make sure it's tough and could stand up to the weather.
It's like you're wearing your bug out kit.
Exactly. There you go. You just, you know, kind of making sure it's tough.
I understand you had nods that time?
Yes, I had,
what?
That particular tube cost, it was about $3,500. And it's, you know, just one single PBS 14 tube, about that long.
Yeah.
Had it connected to my headpiece. And, so that meaning I could only see black and white with the particular eye it was over. This eye could see nothing. Or maybe when the moon was shining, I could see a little bit.
Sure.
But we heard the gunfire and, you know, we thought the worst. You know, did somebody see us cross the road and are they shooting at us?
So this is kind of private.
Yeah.
Private
We, you know, we were just testing our gear out.
Yeah.
We're not supposed to, but we did. And we kind of ran up on this trail, kind of, you know, out of breath a little bit because we took off pretty fast. You know, that's a Scar 17 is pretty heavy. So, you know, we had our
rifle. You carried a Scar?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yes, sir. We just, you know,
I'm liking you more and more.
There you go. We, you know, I haven't seen great big animals in here, but you never know when, you know, something's going to roll up on you and you have to.
There's more black bear east of I-95.
That's right.
than it is west of. Everybody thinks they're in our mountains, but there's more
They're here.
east
That's
of
right.
95.
Yeah, so we, kind of breathing heavy, and he's like, man, well, let's just stop. We have Nalgene bottles, so let's just stop and get us some water. And he took a knee kind of right in this area, and he's, he has on the end of his rifle an IR illuminator.
Okay.
So under our night vision, to the naked eye, you can't see anything as he's scanning the woods, but with that,
with your nods,
I can see everything as if it were a flashlight.
Was that green or gray? What's your
white?
Nod?
White. It's white phosphor. It's just like reading a newspaper, watching a black and white movie.
Yeah, very accurate.
So we take a knee, we start drinking our water, and he hears something, and I kind of do too.
And you've heard some pistol shots,
right? So you're
real quiet.
Yeah, you're
trying to figure out
exactly
where is this noise coming.
Exactly what's going on, So we hear something snapping and popping and stop, and so when he brings his rifle up
to put the IR on it,
exactly.
Okay.
He scans from his left to his right, and no more. And this whole incident was just, I'd say maybe a few seconds. He scanned. As he scanned,
he's got his infrared.
Yes, his on the
illuminator.
Yeah, the illuminator. That's right. That's right. Got his little.
We can't see it, but with the nods, you
right. So he, had his little PBS 14 as well. So he scans from the left to the right, and now as I'm looking at him, I kind of move my head and see his light moving across something, and as he moves back.
He saw it too, so
he saw
backing up.
Yeah,
okay.
We didn't verbally communicate, so I'm just watching what he's doing. And I'd say this guy was probably.
You're thinking there's a human out here that owns the land.
Yeah,
and you're thinking he's thinking you're a wild animal.
There you
go.
You
want to make sure you don't get shot.
Yeah, man, just all kind of stuff rolling through our brain
quickly,
and we're like, we have to act or react. Very quickly.
You got to both assess the situation.
Got to be on
right now.
Yes, sir. Got to be on it.
I'm tracking with you. Okay, Larry. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, you're fine. You're absolutely fine. He, and he rolls across this. Now, what I see, man, it's making make my hair just stand up. Just standing in the very spot. This being, if I were to try to touch its shoulder, I could not, reach, here. So I see. My eyes are low, so I see feet first. I see two dog-style feet / legs. You got the pad, then you got the foot, then you got the heel. And I'm talking, before it kicks into a heel. It's pretty high. And it goes, as his illuminator rolls up, I'm seeing no hair, a lot of muscles, like this thing just spent time in the gym, just working out, just absolutely shredded, couldn't believe my eyes, or my eye actually, because I, have it covered on one side. And, he kind of rolled up a little bit, and as he's rolling up, it just keeps going and going. And I always compare it to a chimpanzee with, no hair, a little bit of hair around the elbow.
Yeah.
Arms probably. My goodness, man,
longer than ours would be.
Exactly. Much, something you don't want to encounter in the woods in the middle of the night.
Right.
And, as he's rolling up, I see, the last part of it I can see was its shoulder. And as it's turning, I couldn't see its head. It disappears from shoulder to feet right in front of my eyes. So he kind of keeps
You think
scanning.
his light pulled away from it, and that's what made him shrink away?
No, I watched it. He stayed there for, like I said,
He had seen it, so he had locked in on it.
Yeah, he just a few seconds, it was kind of like, I'm going to scan, go back, okay, and then scan. So that little go back, I'm looking, in that time at this point, I can see it regardless of his illumination. As he comes off of it, that's when I'm trying to check this thing out, and it turns as if to guard like that and just disappears as it turns. And he cuts his illuminator off, and mind you, we're still kneeled on the ground, on the ground here. And, my heart rate just through the roof, it changed my breathing.
May I interrupt you?
Oh yeah, go ahead.
So initially, this, whatever you saw, was facing you guys.
Right.
So it knew you were here.
Exactly.
It was acknowledging your presence.
Exactly.
Okay, go ahead.
And that's good that you bring that point up, because it was actually where it was at. It almost looked as if it had walked in toward us and had come to a barrier and stopped. And so I was like, that's interesting. But, we're kneeled down and neither one of us are saying a word. And I said, it was actually him that spoke first. He said, well, I didn't want to say anything. And I cut him off. I said, you seen it too? And he said, yes. I said, then you seen X, Y, and Z, this creature, this thing. He said, yes. Our next objective was to remove ourselves as quickly as we possibly could to the paved road.
Sure.
And before we could stand up and turn, I hear it probably 50 yards that way at an angle. Yes, that way over there. And I said, well, it's either coming for us, it knows we're here, we need to get out. So it followed us all the way to the road at a distance.
You could hear it.
Yeah, oh yeah, I could hear it. Do, 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 and then just nothing. So thank the good Lord above, we made it out before, any kind of, more weirdness went on. We're out here just trying to test our gear out. And then there's this thing that, you try to tell people about it and they're like, oh, well, you're crazy. You're just a nut. You're, right. You all. So, I don't really tell many people about it.
A couple of things that lend a lot of credibility to what you're saying. One, you guys were here just kind of here kneeled.
Yep.
Looking in no particular direction.
Mm-hmm. Lollygagging.
Right. So if it knew you were here, then it's facing you, right?
100%.
But when he turned on his illuminator, which it would not be able to see, but it could very easily be able to see you in the dark with its vision. But when you guys scanned and both of you are facing it, perhaps that's what cued it to slim down its silhouette.
Yep.
And disappear.
Yep.
Make a smaller target because it realizes that they see me.
Yeah. And exactly. You're bringing up a bunch of good points. And now you're kind of jogging a little bit of my memory on my other eye. Looking at this thing, I can see nothing but moonlight coming through the trees. And on my right eye, I'm seeing this thing, so I know this, as crazy as it sounds, has to be some sort of maybe interdimensional. I don't know. It shakes you to your core when you see something that's that big and you can't initially see it with your naked eyes. You have so many questions, but first thing on your mind is, let's go, and
Larry, you said a little bit of hair on the elbows, things like that.
Yeah. It was.
Could it have been short hair?
Slick. No,
slick.
It was slick to me.
Hairless.
Exactly. Hairless, slick. It reminded me, like I was saying earlier, of a hairless chimp, because of the muscles. I saw a little here, maybe a little down towards his feet, but it was,
most gorillas or monkeys, they have hair, but it can be real short, real thin,
Oh yeah. I mean,
and what was you wouldn't have been able to tell the color.
Yeah, it was
with IR
because it was black and white.
Yeah.
So all I seen was this white figure because of the nature of the nod. So
you mentioned the muscles. It's interesting that one of the most powerful animals on the planet, the gorilla, silverback gorilla, they eat plants.
Oh yeah.
But if you looked at them, you would think it was a carnivore lifting weights every day. It's got more muscles than, it's amazing.
Yeah. Oh yeah. 100%, man. It just, you see something like that and, you don't know what to do. So you freeze for a little minute. And then that's when that communication started taking place. We're like, hey, don't know what this is. You've seen it. I've seen it. Let's go. And then we hear it,
So you're here last January, 2024. We are, currently doing research in an event that happened back in 2020, Black River, Highway 210.
Yeah, oh yeah.
How far is that from here?
Oh wow, let's call it 2 miles.
2 miles.
Oh yeah.
To drive to it.
Oh yeah.
What about through these woods?
Oh my goodness.
Less?
I'd say less. Yeah, it's the same It's the same set of woods that you see on the other side. It's all
when this
connected
happened back in January, you had not seen any of our, well, we hadn't even produced yet. We hadn't even started filming.
I had no clue. Not at all.
Interesting.
And,
so you hightailed it out of here.
Yeah. Oh, God, man. Another interesting fact I have to back up on, because we had our, we don't know if we're going to have to open fire.
Sure.
We have ear protection. We have our radios connected we have our downlead to our radio.
Yeah.
So we're coming.
You guys are geared up.
Yeah. We just to be able to communicate and move, know. So we hear, I hear him cutting in. He's telling me something. And right before we seen this thing, there was a interruption in our radio wave, and we just decided.
Something broke through the squelch.
Right.
There.
Yeah, it just broke through and just quit. So we cut him off. He said, we were afraid somebody was, tracking.
Turn them off.
Yeah.
Stay with me.
There you go.
Stay in eyesight.
Yeah, eyesight.
And then you take off this way.
That's right. See if you can see this path we're on. That's what kind of led us to stop here. We found an open area, and we're like, okay, good area. Stop, chill, listen, let's see the gunfire cease. And then that's when we were checking the area, and whammo, Mr. Whatever you want to call him decided to show up and pay us a visit. I mean, he was probably, say, if I was here, Neil, he was probably, I'd say about right here.
No way.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That's how I got a good comparison on, okay, I know how big this guy is.
How did you even breathe trying to run out of here?
In through the nose, out through the mouth, very calmly. So, we're just, we are not ex-military. We have friends that were, and yeah, if you're in this situation, you move like this. So we're pulling up. I'm here. He's moving around, and just, I forget what they call it, but we
leapfrogging, checking each other's
there you go
as you move,
and we're going.
Okay,
and oh man, whew. It was an experience to say the least. And
your buddy.
Yep.
I understand he would have been with us today, but he's moving or something.
Yeah, he recently bought a house. There's a lot of work going on. He's got 10 acres. He's kind of got to tend to. So.
Well, I'm glad you could spend time with him.
That's all right, man.
Let me ask you this. Do you and your buddy, do y'all slip out here at night now?
Out here?
Yeah.
He's up in Tennessee, so,
I thought you were going to say no.
Oh, no. Oh, no.
Let me ask you that again. So your buddy, who's moving today, who experienced this with you, you guys wander out here at night anymore?
No, absolutely not. That's an absolute no. Matter of fact, this is the first time I've been back to the sighting, the place of the sighting. It's just middle of the day, as hot as it is, it's just chills down my back.
Yeah.
Just bringing that back. And I honestly think, could it have to do with another situation that happened up in a place called Shadow Mountain where he lives? It was similar
situation.
Oh yeah. But
there are a lot of things that we just
don't know.
We don't have the answers to.
Just don't. Exactly.
Yeah.
Just don't know.
Yeah. Well, thank you for spending time with us, Larry.
Yes,
thank
sir.
you for showing this to me.
No problem at all.
Glad it's been quite an experience. You're a very credible, credible person to interview, and appreciate the time, because a lot of folks, when they see something or experience something, they don't want to talk about it.
Well, it's it's nice to share. It's nice to be able to be received like that. Yeah. Hey, I want to hear what you hear and talk about what went on. So It's interesting to see the community build around awareness of this type thing.
Well, I'll be honest with you. We interviewed the sheriff, and his words, right out of his mouth, were that there had been a lot of events, unexplained occurrences in this area near the Moores Creek battlefield and in this general area here.
Makes sense.
So it's an active area.
Yeah, it sounds like it. It always has been.
Well, thanks for spending time.
Yes, sir.
Appreciate it.
Thank you so much. Thank you for inviting me out.
Oh, absolutely.
Welcome to my world.
Yeah. Okay.
Thank you.
So here we are at Moores Creek battlefield. We're finished with our report. What do we have? 2 stories that happened within 2 miles of each other. Very close proximity to the battlefield here. Very close proximity to the Black River. Was the bipedal that Larry saw last year the same creature that the gentleman driving the truck on the 911 call? Was that the same creature? The stories sound eerily similar. And the answer, we may never know.
In the realm of American cryptid folklore, few stories have managed to capture as much attention, skepticism, and genuine fear as the tale of the Beast of Bray Road. Nestled in the heart of Wisconsin's Walworth County, Bray Road might have remained just another nondescript rural route if not for the sightings of a mysterious and terrifying creature that catapulted it into the spotlight in the late 20th century. The first reported sightings of the Beast of Bray Road date back to the 1930s. However, it was the late 1980s and early 1990s when the volume of reported encounters surged, giving the legend its momentum. Descriptions varied slightly, but witnesses generally described a large hairy creature with a muscular build, standing between 5 and 7 feet tall. Its face bore resemblance to a wolf or a German shepherd, but it was its human-like hands and its propensity to stand on its hind legs that deeply unsettled those who claimed to have seen it. In the early 1990s, local newspaper reporter Linda Godfrey from the Walworth County Week decided to investigate the numerous reports about the mysterious creature. Initially skeptical, Godfrey's perspective shifted as she delved deeper. The sheer number of witnesses, coupled with the consistency in their accounts, began to paint a picture that was hard to dismiss outright. Godfrey's articles on the Beast of Bray Road became a sensation. What might have been brushed off as local gossip or tall tales suddenly began drawing regional and eventually national attention. TV crews, journalists, and cryptid enthusiasts started flocking to Bray Road in hopes of catching a glimpse of the creature, or at least documenting the experiences of those who had. The sudden surge in popularity of the Beast of Bray Road led to a plethora of theories trying to explain the phenomenon. Some believed it to be a previously undiscovered species, a relic from a bygone era. Others posited that it was a werewolf, drawing parallels with the European legends of men transforming under the full moon. The more skeptically inclined attributed the sightings to misidentified known animals like bears or even large dogs, arguing that the fear and power of suggestion could distort one's perception. Yet another theory that gained traction was the idea of a bear-wolf, a hybrid creature born from the union of a wolf and a bear. This theory attempted to bridge the gap between the beast's canine features and its size and stature, which often resembled that of a bear. The Beast of Bray Road is not just a standalone legend. It is part of a larger tapestry of Dogman sightings across North America. Still, what makes the Beast of Bray Road story particularly compelling is its concentration in a specific geographic location and the sheer number of witnesses within a relatively short time frame. The legend has found its way into numerous books, documentaries, and even films. Linda Godfrey, who can arguably be credited with bringing the story to the masses, has written extensively on the subject, providing one of the most comprehensive chronicles of the Beast of Bray Road encounters. Even decades after the initial flurry of sightings in the 90s, reports of the encounters with the Beast of Bray Road continue to trickle in. While they might not garner the same media frenzy as before, these accounts serve as a testament to the legend's enduring grip on the local and broader cryptid enthusiast community. For locals, Bray Road has become more than just a stretch of pavement. It's a landmark, an identity, and for some, a place of genuine fear. While many go there out of curiosity, hoping to catch a glimpse of the beast, others avoid it altogether, especially after dark. The Beast of Bray Road, like all cryptid legends, straddles the line between reality and folklore. The truth of its existence may never be definitively proven or debunked. However, its impact on local culture, American cryptid lore, and the broader discourse on the unknown is undeniable. Whether a product of collective imagination, misidentification, or a genuinely undiscovered creature, the Beast of Bray Road serves as a potent reminder of humanity's timeless fascination with the mysteries that lurk just beyond the peripherals of our understanding. In the end, Whether it's real or imagined, the beast has etched its place in the annals of American folklore, a testament to the power of stories and the human imagination.
Camera photo that a gentleman posted to a public Bigfoot and Dogman page. This is what Lance states. I'm no outdoorsman, wilderness person, so forgive me, but I had a friend send me a weird picture from a trail cam. Can you please provide me your thoughts? My friend has no idea what it is. RMSO responds, Lance, hello. Where or what state was this game camera image captured? Lance responds, it was in Adair County, Columbia, Kentucky, in the Flatwoods area. RMSO responds, we own over 20 trail cameras that we keep in the field year-round in several states. The texture, muscles, and IR color of the suspect reminds us of a mountain lion. However, this thing does not have a mountain lion tail, and the ear does not look like a lion, unless it lost half of it in a fight or something.
I have no idea what this thing is, but y'all look at it and tell me what y'all think. Is this a Bigfoot? Is this a Dogman? Is this something paranormal? Is this something cryptic? What is that? Do y'all see that? Just slow it down. There's an arrow pointing to it. Do you see? Oh my gosh, what is that, y'all? I don't know. Here it is, enhanced. Can you see it? What in the world is that? I would hate that thing to come walking out on me walking down to the pier. I'd have no idea what that is. Could be Dogman, could be something.
This was sent in to us, and good grief, what a beefcake. If this is a legit Dogman, I never want to run across this in the woods.
Alright guys, we're out here in Byron, Michigan. These storms have blown in some kind of creatures, paranormal activity, we don't know. But you hear that? You guys hear that? What do you guys thinking that is? That's some pretty spooky sounding shit though. We've had some crazy storms the last few days. That's crazy sounding though, you have to admit. What is that?
Dark for it. So I'm gonna follow this frozen creek back and pick up on it again tomorrow. Maybe we'll have a little. Doesn't that just figure? That is the big marsh I was just hunting 40 minutes ago. I couldn't shoot now if I had to.
Oh, are you reading? Come in. Hello?
Thank you for watching. If these Dogman encounters sent a chill down your spine, make sure to subscribe and drop your thoughts in the comments below. As always, stay safe, stay aware, question everything, and remember, out there in those woods, something might be watching.